Now let's see this concept of component. Now we have seen the connectedness, right? So when we say a graph is connected, if there is a path between every pair of vertices, right? Now if that is not the case, which means if there is no path between every pair of vertices, then there will be components in the graph. Now if you observe this, let us assume that this is entire thing is one graph, right? Now there are three subgraphs in this, and this is a subgraph, and this is a subgraph, and this is a subgraph. If you observe this subgraph is not connected to this subgraph, and this subgraph is not connected to this subgraph. Such subgraphs are also called as components, right? Now let's name these components. So one component is containing isolated vertex P, right? Other component is containing RQ, and other component is containing XYZ, and the other component is containing TSUVW, right? Now we got these four components. Now all these four components are pairwise disjoint. Pairwise disjoint means no two components are having any path connecting them. Got it? So that is why we are calling them as components. Components means individual parts, right? Okay. Now look at this. The component of a graph is a subgraph in which any two vertices are connected to each other by paths, and which is connected to no additional vertices in the graph. Which means, now if you see this component, these two are connected, but these two are not connected to any other vertices, right? Similarly, in this component, all these are connected, but these are not connected to any other components, right? And here also all these are connected, but these are not connected to any other components. Got it? And if you observe this, whenever you have a single vertex which is not connected to any other vertices, we call it as the isolated vertex. Okay, fine. Let's see this. So adding an edge decreases the number of components by 0 or 1. So let us assume that this is the graph. Now if you try to add an edge, what happens is, either you will be adding an edge between two components or adding an edge within the component, right? Now in case if you add an edge within the component, that will make the number of components to remain the same, right? In case if you add an edge between two components, because of that the number of components will be reduced by 1, because two components will join and form one component. Are you getting this? Now if I try to add an edge between these two components, what happens is the number of components will reduce by 1, right? If I try to add the edge here, right, then the number of components will be 3 as it is. So that is what they are saying. Adding an edge decreases the number of components by 0 or 1. Depends on where you are adding the edge, right? Next one is deleting an edge increases the number of components by 0 or 1. Now if I try to delete, let us say, this edge, then what happens? We are going to get one more component. Initially there were 3, now we get 4, right? If you try to delete this edge, instead of this, if you try to delete this one, number of components will remain same. Therefore deleting an edge will either increase the number of components by 0 or 1. Got it? And next one is, every graph with n vertices and k edges has at least n-1 components. Now how to prove this one is, assume that initially there are only n vertices, no edges, all n vertices. Okay. Now by adding every edge, see this, by adding every edge we are going to decrease the number of components by 1 in the best case, right? Now assume that we are actually adding the edges in such a way that we are decreasing the components by 1. Now by adding k edges, then in best case what happens is n-k components will be there at least. Got it? Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177. And IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.